In the 1994 Olympics, Dan Jansen, going after a gold medal, slipped, grazed the ice with his hand, and lost the 500-meter race. His wife Robin was in the stands, and she cried out, "Oh God, no! Oh God, why? How could you be so cruel?" Excuse me? God is being cruel because Dan Jansen doesn't win a gold medal? James Dobson received a letter from a woman who said, 4 years ago, I was living with my boyfriend. I got pregnant. I was devastated. How could God do something like that to me? Excuse me? What do you mean, how could God do something like that to you? The talented boxer Ray Boom Boom Mancini was fighting a Korean. Ray Boom Boom Mancini delivered a hard right to the Korean's head, and he died shortly after that of a massive cerebral hemorrhage. In an interview with newspaper reporters, Ray Boom Boom Mancini said, "Sometimes I don't understand why God does what he does." Excuse me? Ray Boom Boom Mancini, you smacked the Korean boxer in the head. He died of a massive cerebral hemorrhage. That wasn't God doing that. And Susan Smith took her 2 little boys, put them in her car, and pushed that car down into a lake. And those 2 little boys drowned. After blaming an African-American carjacker, Susan Smith was exposed as being the murderer of her 2 little boys. And in her honest confession, Susan Smith said, after she pushed her 2 little boys into the lake, she went running away saying, "What have I done? What have I done? Oh God, why did you allow me to do something so horrible?" Excuse me? Susan Smith is responsible for what she did. It wasn't God who pushed those 2 little boys in a car down into that lake. And a movie actress is interviewed on television. And with tears coming down her cheeks, she says, "My lover got drunk and fell off the back of our yacht and drowned. How could God allow this to happen?" Excuse me? If you get drunk and fall off the back of a boat and drown, it's not God who has done that to you. It's a result of your irresponsible decision to get drunk. Ultimately, I do not know why God allowed evil, suffering, and death. But to blame God for our irresponsible decisions is a cop-out. God has given you and me a free will. You and I make decisions in life, and if we make good, responsible decisions, we benefit. But if we make bad, irresponsible decisions, then we have to live with the consequences of those decisions. In Genesis chapter 1, we read, God created this, and God saw that it was good. And God created that, and God saw that it was good. And the little phrase, God saw that it was good, is repeated over and over and over again. And Genesis pounds the point into our brains. When God created, he did a good job. God did not create evil. But in Genesis chapter 3, we read how free, autonomous individuals rebelled against God. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the arrow missed the mark. It's where the train got off the track. When we human beings told God to take a hike, to get lost, he partially honored our request. He took a step back from planet Earth, and chaos erupted. Injustice and unfairness broke loose. It was opening Pandora's box. You and I are not born into a fair, just world. You and I are born into an unfair, unjust world. Not because God created it that way, but because we human beings told God to get lost. And God respected our request, took a step back from planet Earth, and all types of havoc and chaos and injustice and unfairness broke loose.